Mise-en-scène plays a major role in this excerpt from M, where Fritz Lang uses images of physical objects to dramatize the murder of a child. The first important object in this scene is the ball that a young girl is bouncing on the sidewalk as she walks home from school. She stops to bounce the ball against the reward poster on a street kiosk. This poster basically functions as a title card would in a silent movie, providing story information that the audience can read. The information on this poster becomes even more frightening when the shadow of the child molester suddenly appears opposite the bouncing ball. A startling use of foreshadowing as the murderer stoops to speak to little Elsie Beckman.
Wie heißt du denn?
Elsie Beckman.
The scene switches to Elsie's home, where her mother lovingly prepares her lunch. This scene introduces a second set of safe, homey objects and images that contrast with those from the street. The clock suggests that Elsie is late and her mother is beginning to worry. The mother's worry increases as she goes to the door and notices other children in the building arriving home from school, and there's no sign of Elsie.
Ist Elsie nicht mitgekommen?
Nö, mit uns ist sie nicht mitgekommen.
Another aspect of mise-en-scène is how objects and characters are framed within the shot. The railings in the hallway here and the tight framing reinforce the feeling of desperation in Elsie's mother. We cut back to the street, where the murderer is buying Elsie a balloon on a string from a street vendor. Notice that the balloon is itself like a fragile child, another good example of an object used as foreshadowing.
Dankeschön.
Back in the kitchen, the clock reminds the mother that Elsie is now very late. We see the desperation in her face, in her hands, in her movements. Finally, hearing voices, she moves to the window to look for her daughter. The emotional tension in the scene is mounting.
Elsie! Elsie!
Static shots of empty stairwells
Elsie!
and attics set up the climax of the scene, which juxtaposes three startling images that indicate Elsie's horrible fate. The table setting, an empty chair in the kitchen, Elsie's ball rolling away from a clump of bushes, and the toy balloon tangled in the wires overhead. Rather than depict violence graphically, these objects elicit it in the viewer's imagination.